Missoula, Montana. We're in the heart of Western Sky Country. You can't pick a better venue for a wood shop.
Yeah, fifth and final round here. We finally have some good weather and an incredibly tough field here. We've been talking about who's going to run away with this. I really don't know. So many injuries last year. David Moses, he has to be bitter. He made it to the semifinal round, 15 seconds in. There goes his Achilles tendon. So you talk about redemption. I'm going to give the overall win to David Moses. Walt Page, though, we saw him in the collegiate series. He's been getting individual wins at tournaments all over the West Coast. If he can align the planets today, I think this guy could maybe get in our number 3, maybe number 2 spot.
First discipline right off the bat, probably the most physically demanding discipline, the springboard event. Who's going to have the advantage in that springboard discipline?
Weibel. This guy's got speed, okay? Let's face it, right off the bat. He doesn't need a warm-up event. You know, that 4-hit bottom, 6-hit top, he gets up there, you're not going to catch him.
A first heat of the springboard event. This is going to be a meaningful one, to say the least. We've got Rob Weibel, the school teacher from Portland, Oregon, up against Brandon Sergei. When I think of Brandon Sergei, I think of the underhand chop. I'm not so much thinking about the springboard chop.
Right now, I'd give advantage speed, advantage Weibel, power, advantage Sergei.
3, 2, 1, go!
All right, here we go. I'm going to look at Weibel to get to the top board first. 4 hits. This is technical here. And Weibel has that board in the back of that pocket like a key and a lock. And if he can get up there, and one more flick clearing the backside. And this is what Weibel needs. Remember, David Moses is going to be coming with the power in the next heat. And Weibel's got 4 hits on Sergei. It looks like he's going to have 6 hits on Sergei, and he's opened up beautiful. This is what is given Weibel second place in the past, but looking for a win today, Kevin.
Yeah, Sergei up at the top of that block, though, but as you mentioned, Weibel about a 4 to 6 hit advantage, and he's going to need every single one of those. Sergei wading into the front of this block, Weibel around to the back. He's going with the alternate chop method. He doesn't just slice it off.
Absolutely.
He actually switch hits.
Wow, that's awesome. That's Rob Weibel, exactly what he needed. And remember, he's not confident with that hot saw. The last event of the day, he's going to get a lead right off the bat with his strongest defense, the chopping.
It's going to be really tough today. It's my best event. I needed to go well. I don't know what my time was, but they're going to have to go pretty hard for somebody to beat that. They can do it, but that's what I needed to do.
Rob Weibel sets the pace with a 54.23, the fastest springboard time of the year, besting the previous top time held by Dave Jewett at just under 56 seconds.
This is pretty cool. We've got our former collegiate competitor from Cal Poly, Walt Page. I gotta be honest, I'm a big Walt Page fan. I love watching this kid chop. He's up against David Moses in the springboard event. If you were with us last year for the semifinals, David Moses, a rough go in the springboard, came down off the pocket, twisted his ankle, tore his Achilles when he hit the stage, and part of the stanchion on the way down. Up against Walt Page, kind of an unassuming college kid, relatively speaking, but he's been ripping it up here lately.
Heights don't bother me, so I'm very comfortable up on the top board. I practice it. I train, and it's one of my. Honestly, it's one of the funner events for me, so I tend to train springboard a little bit more than some of the other ones.
Now, Walt Page took a win in Orofino, Idaho, a springboard win in Squamish, BC. And everybody says this is the man to watch today. They are not going to beat Rob Weibel today. It's just
nice
a slow
set.
Yeah, and look how Walt Page has to look down. That bottom board is way too high. It makes it difficult. He's got a 4-hit top pocket. I'll believe it when I see it. And now he's scary. This makes Walt Page a scary customer right now. He's opened up a monstrous chip, probably too big of a chip. Rob Weibel's chip was perfect. Walt Page boring it in. He's looking at a monster wall of wood. David Moses struggling. The clock is ticking. Ram points are falling away for David Moses. And Walt Page, and he's a little anxious to get to the back. And he's got a strong backhand chop. This is what gave him the win in Orofino, Idaho. Big Ram points for Walt Page.
Walt Page, it's his second year out of Cal Poly. he should not be cutting springboards.
Any day that you're resting on your top board, watching David Moses finish a block is a good day.
With the top 4 advancing to the next round, Rob Weibel and Walt Page lead the field after one event, while David Moses sits in 6th place.
We are Stihl, German-engineered chainsaws and landscape products.
The majority of which are made here in America by Americans.
And exported to over 90 countries around the world.
Find out why Stihl is #1 in America at stihlusa.com.
The Stihl Timber Sports Series is brought to you by Ram, official truck of the Stihl Timber Sports Series. Guts, glory, Ram. And by Stihl, the #1 selling brand of chainsaws worldwide.
The Stihl Timber Sports Series from Missoula, Montana continues. 8 lumberjacks are battling for the final 4 spots to the championship in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. After one event, rookie Walt Page sits in 2nd place overall. Carrying that momentum into the next event, the stock saw, Page makes his 2 cuts and sets the time to beat for the field at 13:42.
The stock saw is one of those things that if you mess up just a little in, you're going to lose 4 or 5 places. And you never know from race to race if you're going to hold it together mentally throughout the cut. So I'd say stock saw is probably worse because of the mental aspect.
Here we go, Kevin. A chance for Mike Forster to dig himself out of the Ram points hole that he is in right now. He took 7th place in the springboard shot, but a solid stock saw operator.
Yeah, both these guys, the window's open, but maybe just a crack. And both these guys, not just Mike Forster, but David Green over on stand number 2 as well, both need to dig out of a hole.
Yeah, Mike Forster, not the fastest entrance in the wood, but I think after watching the previous heats, he can add some more weight to that MS660 in a beautiful exchange. Coming up on the 10-second mark. I don't know. Oh, that's going to be tight now. I got him unofficially around 13.5. A good time putting the pressure on the field.
Mike Forrester takes the heat and edges Walt Page's time.
I feel that I'm as ready as I can be ready at this particular time. It's a matter of being pretty good in everything rather than excelling at one particular event. And I feel, my hot saw is ready. I've done the work in the single buck, done the work in the stock saw, and I've been chopping, putting my time in on the chopping.
Yeah, if you're superstitious, you got to go for Brandon Sergai. He's on the #1 log. All of our wins coming off the #1 log so far. These are identical logs. Jeff Skirvin says keep the RPMs at 9,500, and that is how you win the stock saw.
Hands on the wood. Get set.
And they're both fast into the wood. I wish I could do that, Kevin.
Well, let's see how they are on the switch. That might be the race. It's going to be advantage Sergai. He's first out the bottom. A very clean, quick switch.
Oh, I'm going to give it to Sergai. There's 8 Ram thank you, ma'am points right there. He's got a thick disc, but that, in my mind, was the fastest cut we've seen today.
Brandon Sergai bests Skirvin and takes the overall win in the stock saw. Now Sergai sits alone atop the leaderboard in Ram overall points, heading into the 3rd discipline of the day. A fast and brutal exhibition of speed and power, the standing block.
We saw these guys go head-to-head in the springboard event. Walt Page versus David Moses. In that discipline, it was advantage Page, the young gun, taking our veteran David Moses to school. Moses, a very difficult climb. I don't think we're going to see the same scenario here. This is going to be a race.
Moses winning 5 events last year. The Cinco de Moses, I like to call it. and he is in a ditch right now. He wants to dig himself out. Weibel's put up such a tough time at the 22-second mark, and Moses, look at him sitting back on these hits. He's going to be coming at it now. Far side hit. Oh, I thought the near side was broken. Beautiful, and you know what, Walt Page, is he improved or what?
Yeah, he's an exceptional cutter. We got to start bringing that urgency with Walt Page. Let's watch this in the replay. Watch Walt Page's turn around the block. This is not a race. This is a Sunday stroll. He's casual. He's got to get that movement. He's got to find that urgency. He's losing valuable seconds, even fractions of a second.
Walt Page comes up short against the veteran and #1 seed David Moses. Now, overall points leader Brandon Sergai steps in to face heavy hitter Mike Forrester. Forrester is hoping to turn his misfortune around after faltering in the springboard.
Brandon Sergai, a better underhand chopper than he is a standing block chopper. And Mike Forrester, if he has a good log, a nice soft white pine log, he could chase down that 18-8 by David Moses. This is a guy you don't want to get mad. Now, he's mad right now after that springboard that he was not even able to get to.
Yeah, he and Moses struggled mightily in the springboard. Moses looked for redemption in this standing block, and Mike Forrester is going to look for even more. He's starting to bring the pace now.
I know.
Mike Forrester's made his turn.
Yeah, Forrester turned in 8 hits. He stuck the first hit, and if he lays these down, he's going to start driving this. There it is right there. 18-3 I got. Unofficially, Forrester has just won the standing block chop, and Sergai right behind him. Both of them, I believe, just knocked Walt Page back down the list.
Veteran lumberjack experience is beginning to shine. Mike Forrester takes the win and climbs back into the Ram overall points race. Only the top 4 will move on to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
That was better than springboard.
That's what we're talking about.